Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend DG Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Todd Stashwick, a.k.a. Captain Liam Shaw of the Starship Titan, and you are listening to Capes and Lunatics.
That's right, we know some captains. All right, kids, welcome back. She's a little bit salty.
He's a whole lot of petty, and together we're the Salty and Petty Podcast.
Duh.
And we're going back to the 90s. Well, kind of, sort of.
Well,
we're like the 900th century or whatever the fuck.
900 years into the future. That's right, kids, because today we're going to wrap up, Star Trek Discovery, Season 5, the whole damn series. So.
Oh, boy.
That's right, kids. Let's talk to STD.
Let's just get into it. I do want to start with some news that kind of made me sad, I guess. Did you hear that Jonathan Frakes is not going to direct any more episodes of any Star Trek shows? He's retiring from directing.
Really?
Yeah. I wonder why.
What?
That's he's literally between him and freaking Brent and LeVar, they've been holding the whole damn franchise on their backs for so long.
I mean, I would assume
cons and directing and all that stuff. So
I would assume it's his decision because anytime anybody I've heard talk about him or just stuff
yeah,
I've
seen
on
so passionate.
Yeah,
and it's not like he needs the money, like some people who have gambling problems. We all know who I'm talking about. So it just kind of set me back a little bit about that.
Well, he is 71, so maybe he's just
he can run for president.
Oh, you sure he's old enough?
And still be the youngest person. So I mean, what the hell?
I know. Oh, can you imagine?
That's my headcanon. He's stepping down to run for president.
A
I'm not taking any further questions. I'm gonna live in my Delulu bubble. Thank
you.
A
William Riker presidency. Oh, I'd be down for that. Yes.
This is how we start the paradise where we don't have to use cash for anything.
He saved us from the Borg, damn it.
Exactly. But yeah, let's just get into season 5. I just this is crazy because some of my favorite people are in season 5, just Odette Ferd, freaking Eve Harlow, Maul. And I'm just I'm still not feeling it. I'm just not feeling it. I after the 3rd episode of the 1st season, I was just who is this for?
Do you think? I mean, this season. I mean, for as Discovery as it was,
Temporal Wars is babes. It didn't work on Enterprise.
Yeah, I mean, what was it even Well, oh, you mean the first
Time Cops and all that? Yeah. We don't care.
I mean, this one. I mean, this last season was based on a One and Done's Next Generation episode.
Yeah, exactly. Where it should have stayed. Ooh, a top secret Red Directive mission. Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know. Just as Discovery as it was. I mean, they try. It almost seemed like this season they tried to go somewhat classic Trek feel, but it's kind
of that they were trying to mine nostalgia and it blew up in their face. Case in point, when we get to the series finale.
I wonder if that's why they took so long with this season, is because they.
Well, no, they had to do reshoots because they didn't know this was going to be the last season, and that's been pretty public in the interviews when they talk about it.
I thought maybe they saw in the last season of Picard and they're like, nostalgia is really kicking, huh? Okay.
Well, no, I mean, they all kind of work across to know what everybody's kind of doing generally.
Yeah, but I just didn't know if they saw the ratings for Picard.
And the ratings for Picard weren't that great either, so.
Ew. Even the last season?
Yeah, the last season I heard wasn't so hot. It's kind of I always felt like they were when Paramount Plus or CBS All Access, when all that first started going on and they were pumping out so much Star Trek, I'm you're gonna oversaturate the market and you're gonna piss everybody off. So what happened? They had Prodigy, Lower Decks, we had Star Trek Discovery, we had Strange New Worlds, we had Picard. We're allegedly still getting that Star Trek Academy But like we had all these things up in the air, and it's like no. The reason why it worked when it was on TV, like on just straight up terrestrial broadcast TV, is because we had some overlap, of course, between Next Generation and Deep Space Nine and Voyager, but all three of those settings were so different that it was okay.
Yeah, and I think only two at a time ever basically overlapped, like Next Gen and the DS9, and DS9 and Voyager. I mean, Voyager wasn't even really interacting with them at all.
They were literally a different quadrant.
Exactly, you could watch one or
And like
the
I said,
other.
it was different enough.
You didn't have to
Like
watch
we were
both.
on a state, like Deep Space Nine was like, stationary. We have to deal with our consequences. We can't just shoot off to the next star kind of thing. And Voyager's just Janeway being Janeway, baby, So like for me, but literally at one time it was like 5 Star Trek shows in active like production. That's crazy. And then also to top it off, they felt like they had to keep with the J.J. Abrams cinematic look, which I really felt like was the biggest detriment to Star Trek Discovery, is that they tried to cling to that Calvin timeline, which real hardcore old school fans hate. That was only for the new fans, and no new fans didn't show up. The new fans, the J.J. Abrams fans, did not show up for this. So what were we doing? And that's why they kept trying to retool Discovery as they're learning these things. And it's like,
yeah. I wonder too if that's part of like, because I was thinking about season 1. It's because the first one out of the gate was like, season 1 of this, and they were just like, it almost like they were just like,
and
oh,
why did they name the lead character Michael? Right? They were trying to trick us. They didn't want us to know it was a female captain, let alone a black female captain, let alone a long lost estranged sister of Spock. Another big faux pas of this whole thing. It's like it does not have to revolve around Spock every freaking time, man.
Do you think
he's like the Wolverine of the Star Trek universe, bro?
Do you feel like they felt like they needed a connection to some classic?
I think
character?
the show would have done so much better had they not tried to force that. If his father could have just kept his car somewhere else, we would be just fine.
I think you're right, but I don't know. I don't know if they were just thinking, oh, hey, people aren't, make her more acceptable by tying her to one of the OG characters.
They could have tied her to Benjamin Sisko because, hello, we're still waiting on his whole thing. So Picard gets something and Janeway and Sisko don't? That's what you're telling me? Seems weird.
What about Uhura's sister? Come on.
Exactly, something.
Yeah.
It could have been anything but Spock. Like
right.
That's been my whole issue with the show.
I was waiting for them.
And then they waste Michelle Yeoh. Like, oh my God, they blew their bag. It's like,
I know. That
was the best thing about it. And well, they also blew Jason Isaacs as a character. It's like, man, I know hindsight's 20/20, but like, it just makes me so mad thinking about what we could have had.
And then Michelle Yeoh, isn't she supposed to show up? What is that, Sector 31 or whatever?
Yes, allegedly.
Again, wasn't it after they went to the future that they kind of pulled her back to wherever she came from? It's just like, okay.
The whole going into the future thing was dumb too.
Well, I think they, I don't know if
it's like, oh, people like Strange New Worlds, so yeah, let's just fling these fuckers into the future and whatever happens.
I don't know if people were just, weren't down.
Who cares about Star Trek in the future? Like, we were already way too far in the future anyway.
Why didn't they just drop them in the 24th century? We could have cameos by people. Uh-oh.
Hindsight is 20/20.
Yeah, I guess. But
no, really did Mala disservice. Like, I love Eve Harlow, right? Like, she's one of my favorite like actresses right now, and Mala was really cool when they showed up, and the whole Breen thing was cool, and then they ruined it in the last episode.
She seems kind of wishy-washy. Like at one, it sometimes seems like the character is like you can deal with her, and at other times, she's out of control.
It's giving cute energy, obviously.
Not even that good.
I'm just saying the wishy-washiness of it.
No, I mean she went back and forth from criminal mastermind to deranged lunatic, and it's just like pick a lane.
That's been the whole problem with the show, right? They don't know how to pick a lane.
I know. Well, that's what I said. That's what I was going to say. In season 1, first one out of the gate, it seemed like they were wanting to be like, "Oh, this isn't your daddy Star Trek. This is so dark and
it's like,
gritty."
Didn't we learn nothing from Man of Steel? Did we learn nothing?
Yeah, from the Snyderverse and as a whole.
How does a movie with Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman not make $1 billion? Like, you know why? Because you rushed it, and nobody wants to see dark, gritty shit. Okay.
And you tried to make them all Batman.
Listen, everybody was basically Batman. That was the precursor to Batman Metal Knights. I am like absolutely convinced of it. Like we could just make Batman every character. It'll be fine. They won't notice.
Yeah. Oh, and then that time travel episode they did this season.
Oh, it's the
You know,
weakest time travel episode I've ever seen in Star Trek.
Basically showing, oh, look how far we've come, and all it said to me was just like, yeah, remember when everyone was just angry and pissed off and
yeah.
half the
So
characters.
okay, let's just take this episode by episode so we can get into like their other seasons. So they did a 2-part premiere, Red Directive and Under the Twin Moons.
Mhm.
Oh my god, this only has like 65 episodes. That makes me so sad. It's hard. I know because we don't do that many episodes, but it's like,
yeah.
If anything else, I think that this show would have done better had it not been locked behind a paywall. I think that was another thing that rubbed people the wrong way.
Yeah. I mean, they did. They were trying to like.
CBS could have used the help these past 5 seasons.
They
saying
they
took off The Good Wife as well and put that behind a paywall. And I'm just like, what are you doing? They put evil behind some of their best stuff is behind a paywall, and it's like, babes, that's not the look you think it is.
I think they were just like, oh, it's
like Disney doesn't have
an
actual network for targeted for older adults. I mean, unless you call them like FX, which they kind of sort of don't. So it makes sense to keep all their stuff, behind a paywall, gated. The Disney channel never really was. They were for like originals, not really like the old content. So like I totally get all that the way that it works, right?
Well,
whereas CBS, it was just like, no, don't do this.
Well, remember what I think it backfired on them because remember when it first started, they put the first episode on CBS. I think it might have been after football or something. They put it on regular CBS. And I think it was basically just like, here's the first episode. Oh, if you like this, we're gonna have to pay for Paramount Plus to get the rest of it. And,
that I said, left a bad taste in everybody's mouth. It's like you should never have to pay for Star Trek. And that's why I said the whole cinematic look and trying to follow the J.J. Abrams timeline. If they had not done that, they could have kept it on an actual, like, just standard normal TV show budget.
Yeah.
But because they decided to try to do something fancy, it ended up kind of dooming the show, unfortunately.
Yeah. And again, it's like those first couple seasons when you're before Kirk and Spock and everything, and it's just like, that's always a tricky thing because it's like you don't.
And they messed up so much of the continuity, and it's like, let's just blame it on the Calvin time, babes. Even the Calvin timeline has a pretty decent continuity.
That's why they jumped. That's why they jumped into the future, so they didn't have to worry.
Lazy writers, I know.
Yeah, it's 900 years, so it's like we don't have to worry about anyone's continuity. We don't have to worry about next gen. Which
is such a cop out, which we'll get to.
I know.
So I was really like, kind of like, I was like, they should have just dropped the whole thing all at once, personally, is how I feel about it.
What, the whole season?
Yeah, I think it would have been better received.
Yeah, because
it was a slog waiting week to week. I ended up actually looking for an alternative to not have to watch it week to week. And I took 3 weeks off the viewing experience. Yeah. And for me, it was a little bit better. But because like when you have to wait week to week, you start thinking about stuff that pisses you off. Where if you're binging, you're kind of just, you're just vibing. You're like, all right, this ain't that bad.
But does anyone do that?
It's very bingeable, but waiting week to week is not it.
But does anyone drop a whole season at once anymore?
They have been. Like Disney just did it with 2 shows.
Oh, did they?
Like Devil Girl, a Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. They did it with that other one. I mean, like, Amazon has done a couple of them. Like people are kind of going back to the binging format because everything's locked behind a paywall. Either you have them all or you miss out on the content you want, and that's just kind of where we are. We're back at cable, and people are just unfortunately sitting down and taking it. So that now they feel secure that they can do that again.
Yeah, I must feel like most of them for most of the shows now they're doing week to week just because they're just like, so people don't be like, here's my favorite show, I'm gonna watch it, I'm gonna turn off my subscription until something else comes on I want, then I'll renew. And
But here's the thing too, if you ever notice, if you can't renew at that same old price either, which is what I'm telling you, like if you look at all this fine print and stuff, why people are actually not doing that anymore is because you left, we raised the price. You're not grandfathered in anymore, which is like, I've literally had Netflix since before it had streaming, so I can always just kind of call and bitch and get a discount. I've never not had Netflix, so
make
that or what you will.
Here's an idea with that they'll all hate. Hey kids, once you get a group of friends together, you all chip in and share one login.
Well, they can't even do that anymore.
I know they're cracking down on that.
Which fair enough. Business is business. I get it, but like when you build, like, this is the whole thing. Like when you build your, and this can be a metaphor for analogy for Star Trek too. When you build your fan base up doing certain things and then you literally stab them in the heart and you don't expect backlash.
Oh, so from hell's heart they stab at thee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's just been my biggest thing, trying to wrap my head around it. And it's just so unfortunate. Like, I mean, and again, this is what I mean by like forced diversity, where they just, we're just going to make the captain black and female. And if you don't like it, it's because you're a racist asshole, without actually giving her a good story. Like, every character around her has a far more vastly interesting story than she does. That's
All right.
wild.
All right. I don't want to drive this into the ground, but all right. As a black woman, you say, yeah, no, the story, her backstory.
It felt
wasn't
so
enough.
disingenuous and forced. And it's just like, I mean, I would have rather had any other, like I said, I would have rather like Jake Sisko or somebody else, like somebody I actually care about, like low key. I don't know if you know this about me. Spock is not my favorite character from the original series.
What?
It's McCoy.
Oh,
so it's like I don't like I have real beef with Spock and how the whole franchise has like revolved around him and Leonard Nimoy's influence and stuff like that. Like, listen, y'all know I am not that Canadian man's biggest fan, but I feel like maybe it was Leonard Nimoy's fault. The more that I like kind of get to the bottom of it, I'm thinking,
I don't know. I mean, George Takei will swear up and down it was Shatner.
Well, those two have a different beef.
Oh my.
Yeah, no. So specifically between Leonard Nimoy, and him, it's a different issue. And I feel like it was more Leonard Nimoy's fault the more that I think about it. And the more that I research it, and like when you read his book, Spock No More, and I'm back to being Spock and all this garbage, and I want to direct, and yeah, it's a whole thing. So for me, like tying anything to Spock at this point, I'm just like,
maybe we get an interview if you come on camera, wear a T-shirt that says Shatner did nothing wrong.
Well, I'm not gonna go that far. Listen, like I'm not his biggest fan, but like I could be objective
on the set.
I could be objective and see, like, a lot of people love to blame Shatner now, and that's the cool thing to do, and because he's kind of gone off the deep end in his older age,
Yeah,
it's like real un-Canadian behavior. It's giving Justin Bieber.
And again, you hit a certain age, some people just dismiss stuff because is he like 90 now?
1,000.
I mean, he's up there. I'm pretty sure I heard the one day I thought he was like 90 or 91. Here, I'll look this up. But
he's 93.
Oh my, that's right. Yeah.
Bro, don't even look at all his wives. Just look away. Like, I laugh every time I see it. Anyway. Listen, I have some Shatner stories from the early days of San Diego Comic-Con. Hilarious stuff.
Oh, really?
Also, I think one time, was it Dragon Con? It was some people from Voyager that were kind of said some stuff too that I kind of heard. So I think I have a lot of different perspective on it now. But so I can't wait to get to episode 9. So let's just speed this up.
Okay.
So the premiere didn't really do it for me. Like,
yeah, I get that.
It was like they were trying to have like some action, but like the action fell flat. Like everything, like the CGI. This is the thing about Star Trek. Like the CGI, like I love how we like are like trailblazers, pioneers in the CGI sphere, right? For television. I'm like, bring back the miniatures.
Yeah. You know what?
The miniatures. It throws me out of the scene every damn time.
And I know it's to save time and they want to show this futuristic tech from the 32nd century, but when they just beam everywhere on the ship, doesn't it seem lazy?
So lazy. Listen, I am not one for the walking and talking or let's go out into the hallway scenes because Flash ruined that for me. But I could have used some of that.
I mean, you could at least show turbo lift doors opening and someone walk out.
Nobody wants to be the one having to pull them and make the sound. You know that from like Next Generation.
Oh yeah.
heave.
But I'm like, how many times are you going to set up a shot? Be like, okay, stand right here. This is where you're going to beam in. Okay.
I blame the Mandalorian.
Uh,
You know, the behind the scenes stuff that they use. Like, literally nothing's real at all.
yeah.
I wouldn't even doubt it if Pedro Pascal was a freaking actual robot at this point.
It's a Doombot.
Horny?
Oh, I don't know.
If you know, you know. Anyway, but yeah, I was just like, oh, this is like it's an interesting premise, just not for this crew. I feel like.
Yeah,
if that makes sense to you.
Why couldn't they have done this for a season of Picard? Be like, oh hey, you know, we're gonna wrap up this mystery that we stumbled into 30 years ago.
Yeah. It's like, oh, we're trying to save a town. Yay. And then they find a journal, and I'm just like, oh, the project. Okay, we're gonna seed the galaxy with life. That's what we're doing. This is the story.
Yeah, it's been a while since I watched it. Yeah, we got Data if you ordered them from Wish. Yeah,
not even Wish. Temu.
Oh,
Scam!
oh.
And it's like, why is everything always electromagnetic pulses? Why?
That's it. That's the.
And then the Trill, and I'm just like, you keep Trill out of your filthy fucking mouth, okay?
Wow!
Deserve to mention Trill. Again, they're really trying to hit on that nostalgia, and I'm just like, nope.
Well, yeah, they're throwing however many references they can throw in there. Yeah, it's like, here's an android, here's a Trill reference, here's a.
And then we had to deal with politics in the third episode. Because, you know, they're like, ugh. Oh God, everybody, the ensign, everybody was just like blah. It was like everything was too coincidental, I think. Mm-hmm. And they were very set on telling us and not showing us. It was like the lamest treasure hunt, Easter egg hunt in the world. It's like when you have you have to do the Easter egg hunt for like the 3-year-olds at your church, you know, like it's very obvious, just sitting on top of the bush, not even in the bush, on top of the bush. You're welcome.
I know.
I mean, you practically just put it in the kid's hand, and I'm just like, babes, this
coming out of the bush.
I've literally been watching Star Trek my whole freaking life here. I don't hold my hand and treat me like this.
And it's like, oh, this technology is so dangerous, no one should have it. Then don't go looking for it.
Exactly, because if you get it, somebody's gonna steal it from you.
Exactly, or they're gonna follow you. Something. Then don't go for it.
Obvious plot point is obvious.
And if you're worried about the villains getting it, track them. Don't go looking for the treasure. You know, it's like, geez.
I say just blow up the whole damn galaxy and start over, personally. Which at the end is kind of what I feel like was gonna happen.
I was waiting for them to jump, and they accidentally jumped into the Kelvin timeline. A fate worse than death. A fate worse than death.
I mean, it was their fate, and it did kill them. I'm absolutely certain of that, unfortunately. So episode 3, like I said, it was just like stupid politics and just setting up clues and getting a map, literally getting a piece of a map, like.
Poor Doug.
And that shared body experience, I'm just like, ew, I'm so over it. I'm so over that plot point. Please stop it.
Yeah.
It is gross. Okay? Stop.
Yeah.
That includes you, Dr. Otto Octavius. Just stop it. Stop stealing bodies.
How dare you! The best story Marvel ever produced, next to Secret Wars by Jim Shooter.
Secret Wars 2.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Asterix. Oh. Secret Wars 2.
Secret Wars 2, yes. Stay tuned next year. Justin and I are going to cover that thing.
Doing the Lord's work. I really should send him a fruit basket, honestly.
Send him
also,
no. You know what we need? We need a biscuit basket.
I know.
Yes.
A biscuit basket.
But no, poor Doug Jones, man. I mean,
yeah.
This guy deserves better. I mean, and, oh my Lord, acting through that makeup. I mean, just.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, I totally agree.
We might be able to get an interview with him, maybe, because, you know, of course. That star effer we know Rob Southgate has met.
6 degrees of separation with Rob Southgate, I'm telling you.
Well, that should be the next third best Southgate.
So episode 4 had me kind of laughing. I was just like, face the strange. Exactly.
Well, it's dating life. What?
So like Maul is like tracking Discovery to Trill, plants a time bug. I'm just like, oh, shout out to the Temporal Wars. Blech.
Yeah,
And
the
then,
time travel. Yeah.
the time bug activates that trap, and then they're in a cycle of jumping through time. I'm like, babes, how many times have we done this?
Hey, remember when Michael was a traitor and before she jumped through the ranks to captain? Remember that?
Exactly. And God, they only jumped through 3
It's
periods of the ship's history.
well, yeah. Oh, remember the Red Angel? Yes.
Yes. I know exactly. It's like, babes, it's not the nostalgia you think it is, okay? So they do actually break. I thought they were gonna actually like this was gonna be a 2-parter, but like they actually did contain themselves and keep it as one. So
Maybe
it's
because
just
it
like,
was the last
okay,
season and they wanted to get to a lot. Yeah.
because they wanted to get the mirrors. That basically everything leads into each episode, and like okay. Honestly, I feel like they would have done better if this was episodic instead of serialized. Like old Star Trek. If you really want to be nostalgic, give me some episodic. Like just straight up
Yeah.
fun, swashbuckling. I mean, kind of like what Strange New Worlds is doing,
Yeah, I was
right?
gonna say Strange New
But they
Worlds
also
was
have
kinda
like,
good.
well, that's the difference though. They kind of have the appeal of being directly connected to the actual lore, like the
Yeah.
original lore of where we all started. So that they're always gonna have a leg up on that. But
And
like
something
they still manage to have like serialized elements, but like still
Yeah.
can be episodic.
Yes, exactly.
And I feel like a lot of shows struggle with that these days. It's either one or the other. Either you're a procedural or you're like a prestige drama with a mystery box with inside an enigma inside a riddle kind of shit. And it's just like, babes, how long ago did Lost end? We're done with that. And I think people need to let go of the idea of they're going to be the next Lost, babes. It's been 20 years. You got to let it go. So yeah, Mirrors is all about what else? Mirror Universe.
I know. I was like, wait a minute. So we got the Mirror Enterprise. I was like, wait a minute. Am I forgetting something? I'm like, is this a thing that?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm like, why are we doing the Mirror Universe Enterprise? I'm like, did I forget something along the way?
And then we get into Maul's daddy issues, which I could have like left. And I'm like, oh, at least we're in the Gamma Quadrant. So there's that.
I'm like, oh yeah, I guess we just jump back and forth from the Gamma Quadrant now. Voyager's like, really?
Really? I know. And then when Maul like accidentally, I use air quotes on this, detaches the shuttle.
I know. Hey, we're all gonna die. Oh no, I'm gonna stubborn my way through this. No, you're not.
No, you're not. You're gonna escape in a warp pod like everybody else.
That's what I'm saying. She seems smart. The character seems smart in some scenes, and other scenes, it's just like she's like a raving lunatic. I'm like, pick.
Yeah. So then we get to the next episode 6, Whistle Speak, and we identify the 5 scientists, and that's like, so they figure out the clue to that stupid weather tower and all that stupid sandstorms. I'm just like, oh God, why? Of course it's in a mountain, because it's always in a mountain. Like, duh, that's the first thing you should do is look for the mountain, because that's where y'all hide shit, like, historically. Hello?
Oh, yeah. It's easier to carve it out. Come on.
Exactly. It's just like, oh, God. I don't know. I just feel like nobody was smart.
How do you feel
Everybody
about,
was incompetent.
yeah, how did you feel about Tilly?
Sad whistle. Kill the sad whistle.
There's like earlier seasons, I kind of like the character, but like this season, maybe even last season, I'm just like, I don't know, what did they do? What did they do to this character? I don't know.
What did they do to anybody? Shout out to Mary Weissman. She deserved better.
Yes, yeah. Like I said, I thought in earlier seasons they gave her much more better material, but now it's just it's almost
But
like
don't
is it
we
just
yeah. Go ahead.
is it just she's like, I don't know, like just more anxious and stuff. I'm like, I don't think the character growth has been there as much for her as far. The character's not as far along as she should have been.
Nobody is.
No, well,
It's because we took that one season to not even focus on them. I think that really is what killed it.
That, and then they started focusing everything on Michael.
Yeah, I mean, that was always going to be the case, but like
Yeah, but again, you can give little
Next
bit.
Generation did it best, I think. Is like, yeah, we know we learned so much about Picard, but honestly, it's actually through freaking Riker's eyes when you really think about it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And a lot of other people got excellent showcases towards the end. It got to be a lot about Data. Make of that what you will.
War.
Yeah. Holding the whole damn him and O'Brien holding the whole damn universe together, honestly.
I mean, the next
Shout out to Worf being his own great grandfather.
Yeah, I mean, I know they got more episodes per season, but I mean, name me a main character on the next gen cast who didn't get at least one episode focused on them.
Even undeservedly so. Looking at you, Wesley, child of the future.
Wesley, Troy, Dr. Crusher, everybody. I mean,
even mean bitch we hate from season 2 got an episode.
Yeah, Pulaski. Yeah.
Nobody liked her, and they still gave her an episode.
Jordy, all of them.
Tasha, yeah, everybody.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, Tasha's was their death, but okay.
She got to come back.
Yes, as her Romulan daughter. Yes.
Well, also in the other that one episode where they.
Oh yeah. Well, that's how they created the daughter. Yeah.
So yeah, episode 7. Like I don't know, a treasure hunt for the whole season, and this is your final season. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
So we're trying to treat Lack, who got injured in the Enterprise confrontation, but like, duh, it's Breen physiology. Nobody knows anything about Breen physiology.
Yeah, and the whole Breen helmet thing is I don't know. They're
stupid. It's like you want to be a Mandalorian so bad.
When they're talking through that helmet, just the way the audio, I'm like, that's so effing annoying.
That's so 80s, bro.
It's so annoying, just the sound of it. I was just like, ugh.
Yeah. And then like their specific version of them is not good. I like the old, I like the Deep Space Nine version. If you know, you know.
Well, yeah,
that's
I
all
think
I'm gonna say about it.
Well, again, I mean, this show is good for that because remember the Klingons from the earlier seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, notice there's no Klingons in the 32nd century.
Wow, good on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just was like, okay, what was the whole point of that?
Mm-hmm.
And then they get they talk to the leader of the Breen faction at the Federation headquarters, and it's just like, oh, that's your nephew. Okay. Is this gonna help us? Probably not.
Gonna roll through my nephew.
I'm like, what is this, Game of Thrones? We're Targaryens now?
In space!
You know, I'm never gonna like a character whose last name is Rayner, so that didn't help.
How dare you?
I, of course, love Jon Stewart.
I, of course, love Cal Rayner.
I, of course, love Hal Jordan.
So yeah, just like that's just a joke. That character was fine, but like I feel like that they use that character to do a lot of exposition, and that always gets annoying when you have to be the character that does the exposition.
Oh yes, the new first officer. Yes, I was like gloss over that. Those ears were so stupid. I could not. I mean, even if he would have given him Vulcan ears, I would have been fine. But there's something about those ears. I could not take him seriously when he's trying to give like these dramatic talks. I'm like, look at those effing ears. I'm like, oh my god.
Like, not to be a racist, but take those damn things up, bro. Put a hat on.
Shape them differently. Just I don't know. Were they just? I don't know. There was something about those ears. I wasn't feeling it.
You know, I know like makeup and costuming is hard, but like I feel like people were.
I would think it would have been better with 90s Trek. Just put something in the middle of their nose and forehead. Call it a day.
Make it easier on yourself. Honest to God. And just give her a third boob. It'll be fine.
Oh, nice. It's on the back for dancing.
Exactly. So then, what else happens in episode 7? Maul reveals that they're searching for the progenitors' technology, and we're gonna resurrect Lack, and it's just like, okay. So we get a clue that we're going to the Eternal Gallery and Archives in the Badlands, and I'm just like, okay, Okay.
Janeway says, "Watch out for the Badlands."
I know, that's literally, I'm just like, they're trying so hard. Episode 8 is just really where the rest of the season falls apart for me.
Well, episode 8, Michael runs around the library.
Labyrinth.
Runs
Yeah.
around the library.
And I love a library, but like the whole episode, really? A
Mhm.
mindscape simulation. Because you don't have a holodeck.
That's true. 32nd century. We didn't see one damn
They were like,
holodeck,
it was
did we?
too distracting. It was too distracting. They don't want what happened to Nog to happen to anybody else. I feel like they banned him after that.
They were banned. They don't want to create any more Moriartys or anything.
Exactly. No more Vic Fontaines for you.
No. After the whole Quark situation, yeah, no, there's too much bodily fluid in those holodeck emitters.
Oh, so yeah, that whole thing happens. They get the additional information how to access the technology once they're at the destination, and then Discovery copies the completed map. She gives it to Rune in exchange for promising not to destroy the archive. I'm like, I'm gonna beat your ass, girl.
But let's get the answers first.
Yeah, so the brain fire in the Discovery, and she fakes the ship's destruction, and
Yeah,
they destroy the archive anyway, including some of the followers. And then Mel's like, "Peace out, homie. Let's get a mutiny." I'm just like, oh well.
She's
I
like,
don't know why you thought that was gonna work.
She's like, we'll resurrect your nephew and roll.
Yeah. So penultimate episode, Lagrange Point. That's directed by Jonathan Frakes. His last.
Yes.
Allegedly. I'm sure he's going to get a call from Strange New Worlds and I'm like, please. And he's going to do it. Who wouldn't want to direct a show episode of Star Trek?
Strange New Worlds. I know. Yeah.
So I feel like if he gets the call for that, he'll be back. They want to keep him close to the fold. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I hope it's just he wants to relax some now.
Relax, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, I hope nothing's wrong. Just.
Yeah, it might be health. He is an older guy, and I told you he's always had like a bad back and stuff like that.
And I wondered, you probably got to travel for that too, because he probably doesn't work with
on
location.
So
he's 71. He probably might just be like, you know what, I'll stay at home and stay around.
Definitely, no offense, Phil. I mean, like I very rarely fly anymore, so I'm like not looking forward to flying into Pittsburgh. At least
I understand. No,
2-hour flight.
With
People
travel,
are still so gross. Like I'm like, babes. COVID is still a thing. You're on a plane, a very closed, dirty air. Like, what are you doing? Why are your shoes off?
Yeah, I mean, as bad as some things were back then. What was that, like the 50s? Like people like dressed up.
I'd rather have smoke on a plane.
At least people dressed up and
exactly
kept themselves
had
clean.
better manners.
Yeah, on a plane. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I won't lie. The last flight that I was on did have a puppy. So.
Oh well, they got you there.
Yeah, it was like 2 rows in front of me, so that was nice.
Nobody screaming.
Downside, there was a screaming baby.
No, I was gonna say nobody screaming. That MFer's not real.
Knock on wood, I've never been on a flight like that. Don't want to be. Cool. Don't want to be. So yeah, the penultimate episode, we kind of just this didn't feel like a penultimate episode. We're like, oh, we're in the pattern buffer, and I'm like, babes, you really pulled that story? Really? Somebody's doing it better on the other side. And it's like you're pulling him out. He literally had like 75 years of you to just left him alone. Like every time you pull him out, it takes a little bit from him. Selfish. And everybody's just holding on in the vacuum of space with their fingertips, like they're mountain climbing. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's not a vacuum or nothing.
Oh, whatever. It's TV. It's fine. Yes. There's a lot going on, but at the same time, not a lot. Because they're like, oh, let's get the people responsible for the death of Raynor's family, and let's claim these forces for our own, and why are you volunteering to intercept other forces, Saru? Like, what are you doing? just a mess.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And again, you said they did reshoots because at first they didn't know this was the last season. I mean,
Yeah,
this
for
is
episode 10. That's
it's
why it was
almost
so long.
okay. Maybe it was just all the references they threw in. Because I was gonna say,
Yes, that's exactly what it was.
except for what they tacked on to the end of the last episode, it really didn't seem like a final season, except for all the references.
Yeah, which we'll get to.
Mhm.
So yeah, like I said, the penultimate episode is just basically Maul getting the body out of the pattern buffer, and they're getting pulled into the portal of space. Whatever.
Oh yeah.
So Life Itself is the series finale episode. And they're in a portal that takes them to a higher dimension structure, and Burnham and Maul work together, and it's just like, oh, that's not gonna backfire on you. And then we have Book and Cobra hold the portal with a shuttle's tractor beam. We've seen this before too.
We're holding basically a black hole open with a not even a starship's tractor beam, a shuttle's tractor beam. Okay.
Warp 10, baby.
What, they gonna turn into lizards?
You know.
They gonna turn into lizards?
It's just so many things. I'm just like, our continuity's getting very far away from us at this point.
It almost seems like maybe back in the day, people actually again, it's sci-fi, but people actually studied real science that that like
back in the day, like about the quarks and the actual
to try to extrapolate something that could come from. But now it's just like, oh no, let's hand wave you.
Ever since we couldn't decide on what warp 10 was, we've kind of been spinning out from that ever since.
It turns you into lizards
with 3 boobs.
No, Tom Paris and Janeway. Remember they had lizard
boobs.
The most controversial episode of Voyager ever.
Was that the most controversial?
A lot of people. I mean, I think David on that podcast they said that that's the one that gets the most hates. At least that's what they hear. Janeway and Paris become lizards and have babies. Yeah.
That's like whatever. I won't comment. I'm not a diehard Voyager fan. I passively watched the Voyager as I got ready to go out on Friday nights or Thursday nights or whatever it was.
She's like, I didn't watch Voyager. I was going to parties get laid. The life of a cheerleader. All right.
Just saying. Anyway, so Burnham accesses the technology, connects with the consciousness of the progenitor, and he's like, yo, you can use this technology, but homeboy, you can't bring him back to life.
Yeah.
And Maul's like, what the?
Yeah. Well, she's even said, I mean, she didn't even give her that option, but it's like, yeah, you can bring him back, but he's not going to have any of his memories or nothing. It's basically going to be a new copy of Locke, but he's not going to have his memories or anything.
Yeah. So it's like, is it worth it? Like, depends on what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? So they leave, and the Discovery crew uses that stupid spore-based propulsion system to send the Breen dreadnought and the scout ship to the edge of the galaxy. And I'm just like,
yeah, they instead of jumping themselves, they jump there. Yeah, they came up with some explanation. Oh, we can put spores on the other side of them, and then whatever's between us, we can jump. We can jump this ship.
They reached so hard, I'm pretty sure they threw their back out.
Oh, anyway. I think so, yeah.
So Burnham's like, you know what? No one should control the progenitor's technology, and she releases the portal into one of the black holes. We cut to weeks later. The crew is attending the wedding, and then also Burnham and Book affirm their love for one another, and they accept a new mission. And he's like, yeah, hey, by the way, I have my time traveling operative Agent Daniels.
Oh yeah, Yep.
That's a shout out to Star Trek Enterprise.
Making a connection with Enterprise, yes.
No, listen, Sky Bakula, please cover your ears. The worst Star Trek.
Yes, so yes, Kovich was Agent Edwards, yes.
Yeah.
So was that the most controversial reference to all the previous Trekkers?
Of course it was. It had to be. Oh, then he also plans to offer Maul a job, and then we cut to years later where Burnham and Book have a son, Leto, and he is a new Starfleet captain. And I'm just like, oh, Lord. I would have never let him in the Starfleet Academy. So Burnham's an admiral, and she gets to take the Discovery, which has been restored to its 23rd century appearance. And then they go to the specific location with that computer Zora. And they get
Zora.
a new like red directive mission. And I'm just like, you mother.
Didn't she say something like, "Oh, you're supposed to park Discovery somewhere and just let it sit for how long or something?" It's just like, so are we setting something up where if we want to do a new crew or something, or I don't know.
No, Discovery's a wrap.
I was gonna say we're not going to do Discovery the Next Generation or nothing.
No, I don't think this is salvageable. I just don't.
Even with completely new people.
Yeah, it's just the taint. Hello. I mean, listen, I love the cinematography. I love the scoring. The technical aspects of the show is great. It's the story that they give their characters or lack thereof. It's the not trusting your audience to be smart enough. They literally held our hand through every single episode. Nothing surprised me. Everything was forecasted, broadcasted, plain as day about what was going to go on. And that's just not Star Trek.
They kind of change direction every other season.
Yeah, I have no emotional like touchstones for this series at all for me.
Yeah,
like it's just I just watch it to make sure that like in case this affects any other continuity or lore, at least it's there. Kind of how I approached Picard too, to be honest.
Some of the earlier seasons, it was basically just background for me. I mean,
yeah, and that's such a shame. Like literally probably crafted for someone like me, but again, they really didn't make the actual character have a character. So it's like, oh, she's just Spock's sister. That's it.
Yeah. I think
they were like, babes, I need more than that.
I think they were trying to reach.
Same thing with Naomi. I need a little bit more.
Yeah.
Same thing with Riri. I need a little bit more.
I mean, maybe they're trying to reach a new audience. If anyone's listening to this, are you? Did Discovery
if you like Discovery, look, listen. Bless your heart.
Here's a okay. Here it is. More generic. Has any of this current new age of Trek brought anyone new into the table, like the Paramount Plus era?
I'm gonna say I know the Discovery didn't, but Strange New Worlds, Lower Decks, and I'll say maybe even Prodigy too. Prodigy definitely had its fans. More so than Discovery. I feel like to the detriment, people were just like, oh, I guess I'll just watch it until Strange New Worlds comes back or Lower Decks comes back. It's kind of like one of those things.
So did I see? And I mean, speaking of that, is Lower Decks is it over, or is there one more season? Then it's over. But yeah,
I think it's one more season and it's over.
Yeah, because that's coming to an end. But that was always
the fifth and final season.
Lower Decks. I mean, I'm surprised they got that many. I mean.
It's going to probably come back in October or November, and it's going to have 10 episodes.
Nothing against Lower Decks, but that was always going to be a hard sell just because it was such a different flavor than everything else, every other Trek, because of the humor and stuff. And
like I said, it brought in its fans, but I felt like it had to be like a lot of new people. I never really saw like none of my friends that are like hardcore Trekkies or like were like into it, and I love Jack Quaid, and I was like, I just wait for it to
so that crossover
and then binge the episodes.
So that crossover with Strange New Worlds was trying to save it, right?
Pretty much.
I love that show.
I mean, it was okay, but like I said, like I feel like they oversaturated the market to the detriment of the franchise.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
and it's like now we really can't go back to a basic TV budget and actually put it on regular broadcast TV ever again at this point.
Yeah, I think
because it would be a major downgrade.
I think, and again, these days, I think they're just like, oh, there's enough Trek fans who will pay for this, so we don't have to put it on regular TV anymore.
That's a really bad attitude to have because streaming is hitting
a
bubble.
I know, but I
it's hitting a bad bubble, and CBS and Paramount Plus and Peacock. They're all on the chopping block. They're gonna have to merge. Apple might buy them, from what I hear. So. Like Amazon's like, we got our own shit over here. We can't deal with it.
Yeah. I was gonna say regular CBS. What did they even have?
Football?
Are any of those NCISs still on there? Is that?
Babes, I have not watched CBS. I mean, since Diggle wasn't on Blue Buds anymore, like I could not tell you.
Oh, I thought I saw. Is that coming to an end? Blue Bloods, or is that over?
Is that still on the air?
I thought it might have been, but I thought I saw something about like it might be on its last season or something. But
Hold on, let me look.
I'm thinking,
Shout out to Mustache of all mustaches. You know what I'm saying?
Tom Selleck, yes. But no, I love the mustache.
Let me see. Premiered on November 23rd. Announced that the 14th season would be its last. The first 10 episodes of the season began airing in February 2024. And is scheduled, the rest of them, consisting of the last 8 episodes, is scheduled to debut in October 24, which will be the series finale in December of this
That's
year.
what I'm saying. So that's done.
285 episodes?
Well, 14 seasons. I mean, regular TV. I mean,
Louise.
they were, I don't know if they still do, but they were probably still getting like 20 episodes a season, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were.
So, again, 14
Let me
seasons.
look. Oh, no, they were like, the only season that didn't have more than 20 was 2019 and 2020.
Well,
Even
yeah.
2021 and 2022 had 20 episodes. So,
yeah.
That's why. 13 million people were watching this show in its prime. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, probably old people.
This is the thing. The only time I ever hear Blue Bloods is like Family Guy when they're making fun of it.
Lilith, it's another Kevin Costner Yellowstone. It's probably
No, not old people. Not just old people are watching Yellowstone. I know plenty of like the young kids in my office actually watch it. We love listen, young people love them some Kevin Costner. Okay, off the strip of him and Whitney. Don't talk about what you don't know. Kevin Costner fans, stand down. He don't know.
I don't know. No, but I guess in the case of Blue Bloods, I'm thinking, all Tom Selleck, all those old,
all those 70-year-old ladies
getting all those old
nasties over.
All those old nasties who were watching Magnum PI back in the day were probably tuning in.
Listen, I love Magnum PI, and I just like I said, I watched a couple episodes for David Ramsey, who plays Diggle in Arrow, and that's about it. So once his character was gone, those are literally the only seasons I watch, and then I'm like, once he leaves, I'm done with that show.
But Blue Bloods is going. Young Sheldon's done. I think they
Young Sheldon's done. So
yeah. So
what do they have? Hold on, let me see what's on CBS.
I'm thinking the NCISs maybe. I think those might still be there. Or some of them are.
Okay, they have FBI. They have like 3 different FBI. They have an NCIS Sydney. I feel like I say that every time.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably the only thing they have left NBC and CBS.
Oh no, they have Tracker. Okay, which is Justin Hurley. Yeah. If you're not watching Tracker, which also shout out to Supernatural fans, we have a crossover. Jensen Ackles is his brother, coming back for next season. Just gonna throw that out there.
Oh yeah, I have seen the commercials. Yes, they do have Tracker. Yeah.
So they have. Oh, did they bring back? No way, they brought CSI Vegas back. No way. I don't think that's right. So they have Tracker, they have FBI. I think they have 2 different FBI shows. They have NCIS Hawaii. They have The Equalizer, which is good with Queen Latifah. They still have a Survivor and The Amazing Race and Big Brother, which will always keep them fed. Those 3 shows will always keep CBS fed. Like,
oh yeah, I forgot. I forgot about the reality shows. Yeah.
So yeah, NCIS is still on, but I don't see Mark Harmon. I don't see anybody that I know.
Well, no, I mean,
so this has been on for 21 seasons, and I left when Tony and Ziva left. Actually, not, yeah, pretty much. And then when that whole thing with Mark Harmon and the lady that plays Abby, I was absolutely devastated and had to stop watching the show. I couldn't even binge it on USA anymore, so I was just unfortunate.
That's the thing. I mean,
had to retract. Mark Harmon could get it. It just devastated me, bro.
Oh, damn.
Devastation. But yeah, okay, so they have 3 things that keep them fed, and they have football, so they'll be okay. But like, they'll never be like a prestigious. You know what I mean? Like The Good Wife was their prestige show, and they put it behind a paywall.
Well, is any regular network going to be prestige anymore?
I'd say Abbott Elementary on ABC.
Okay.
Like, that's getting the Emmys. It's a critical darling. It's a fan darling. It gets the ratings. To that point, Blackish was also that for ABC. I don't know that. I don't know. It's SVU. SVU is not really prestige, but it's the thing that's holding that network.
I mean, it's on its 25th season.
Well, the Dick Wolfiverse holds NBC together.
Oh yeah, all those Law and Order.
Because the Chicago Fire and Law and Order. Yeah. Like, between those 2 things, they
don't
need anything else.
Although now we're putting organized crime behind the paywall, so.
I mean, we got to see some Mahoney booty. That's Maloney booty or nothing. Don't even bother. We remember Oz. Pepperidge Farm remembers Oz, okay?
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you're going to go behind a paywall, I mean, you could get more violent and you could get more male and female, nudity. Come on.
Honestly, this is the crazy thing about like watching TV in like the 2020s is that you're more likely to see male nudity than female nudity, and I'm okay with that. Like I said, I've been seeing a lot of full frontal dong on Netflix, and I'm just like unexpected, but you know what? I'm not gonna complain.
Scream it!
Not gonna complain.
Well, yeah. I mean, again, it's if they show women anymore, it's just like, oh, you're objectifying women, but you can objectify.
Oh, shout out to the Time Traveler's Wife on HBO. We miss Theo James's ass. We do.
Oh my!
F in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, okay, let's get back to Star Trek Discovery. Let's talk about the rest of the seasons.
Okay.
We'll start from season 1. Had 9 episodes. It premiered way back in 20. Why does 2017 feel so long ago?
Well, because again, 2020 warped everyone's perception of time. Remember?
I don't know. Like it just feels specifically for this show, it feels like forever ago. I'm gonna say that season 1 was actually pretty cohesive though. They had like the same set of like writers and directors. They had all these people who worked together before. So like, while it was a little boring to get off the ground, and like they had to set up like we didn't start on the actual Discovery ship, unfortunately.
Oh yeah.
That whole thing, I feel like that was kind of like a misstep.
We had to
That
do
they were
the
really
whole.
leaning into the Spock sister thing. And
Yeah,
that's kind of what like just threw me.
We had to set up the mutiny thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was still pretty solid, like in comparison to latter seasons of the consistency, and that's really shocking because, like, no tea, no shade. If you don't know, Bran Fuller was like the showrunner at this time. He stepped down after season 1 because he can't ever really do anything past 3 seasons. That's just him. He gets bored and he wants to go do something else. He loses focus. So yeah, like I wasn't surprised. I was actually surprised that they gave it to him in the first place. So once that was done, season 2, season 1 had like 15 episodes, but it was like split into 2 parts, which pissed me off, I guess. I think that's what really pissed me off.
And again, yeah, season 1 there, it's like, oh, look what we got. They're like, this is your first brand new Trek in how many years? Yeah, they were gonna milk that.
Yeah, they were really leaning on that, and I'm like, babes, when you think about it though, the J.J. Abrams wasn't that far removed.
Yeah, but I guess they meant the first TV series and how, but.
And it was just like, it's set a decade, and that's only a decade before the original series in the 23rd century, and it's just like, oh, no, that's too close.
Yeah.
It's too close. And it's like, oh, the freaking Federation Klingon War. Fuck yeah, but like, guess who's doing it better? In flashbacks, Strange New Worlds.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if anything, you got to give Discovery credit. Yeah, we spun Strange New Worlds out of it.
And it didn't need to be spun out though. That's it could have done it. It could have stood on its own.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the weird thing about that. I think the best thing, like I said, I really love that we got Doug Jones. I love that we had Mary Weissman, and I love me some Jason Isaacs as a Harry Potter fan. So yeah, Daddy Malfoy, I was all down for it, but I felt like they wasted Mary Weissman, who plays Tilly, and Jason Isaacs for sure. They wasted them. Okay, yeah, here it goes. The first episode was broadcast on CBS and released on the streaming service CBS All Access on September 24, 2017.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't even Paramount Plus. It wasn't even Paramount Plus when it started. Right, yeah.
Yeah. The season did lead to record subscriptions for All Access. Allegedly, this got positive reviews from critics, but everything I look up doesn't seem too good. But the thing people love was the production value, which I totally disagree with. So, like, I really got that. It also got nominated for 2 Primetime Creative Emmy Awards. Like I said, the show looks great, but I feel like we can never go back now.
Yeah.
And if they act like, oh, season 2 was ordered right away, they were always going to order at least 2 seasons. It's Star Trek. They can't have people thinking that the main franchise that they have is a bum bitch. You know what I mean? So it's just like, okay. But yeah, I mean, that's a solid 15 episodes. And then, like, next season starts to dwindle. We got, technically, I feel like season 2 has 15 episodes because because it's like I don't know how to explain it. Like I feel like even though 13 and 14 are like technically like split, I feel like it was like extended runtime or something, right?
I
2 on that
think
one.
so. I think
Yeah.
because again, at the end of season 2 is when they're like, oh, we're gonna jump them into the future.
Yeah, which was wild. It's like because they make these specifically Discovery. They made with like no real feedback for season 2. Like they were just like straight into season 1 to into season 2, and they had that idea for spinning stuff out and seeing where it would go.
Hmm. I can't remember. I wonder, so was it one of those cases where they were kind of working on season 1 and season 2 at the same time, maybe?
I really feel like I said, they were always going to have at least 2 seasons of this Star Trek show.
Yeah.
So I really feel like they didn't have the time to implement the feedback to notice that people really weren't. They loved Michelle Yeoh. Michelle Yeoh blew up in between that time too.
Oh yeah.
So I think because we had like a full year in between or whatever. So I think if I remember right.
Yeah, I think we had another big break between, was it between 3 and 4 or 4 and 5? Yeah.
But I'm gonna say I think that they really did. They set Discovery up for success because they announced it like not too on the heels of that 50th anniversary in 2016. Like they did that. I remember that whole big press release, and we
Oh
got
yeah.
Star Trek Day out of it. It was really cool. Everybody was excited for it at Comic-Con. But they should have went with the anthology series, is what I think. And they kind of did with the little 5-minute episodes. But I would prefer a full show.
Or like you said, the Discovery could have been more episodic.
Yeah, they didn't know what to do.
They wanted to be different. They wanted to be more modern, and it's just like
modern doesn't always equal.
You
better,
could kind of tweak some stuff, but again, don't reinvent. You don't have to. It's Trek. You didn't have to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, and I think like honestly, the weakest episodes of season 2 are the ones that focus on Burnham. I said it, like the stupid Red Angel one, and then the one where she's like, we get that flashback to the Klingons destroying her mother's lab or whatever.
I was gonna say her mother. Yes.
Yeah. Meanwhile, that Tilly episode, I think it was Saints of Imperfection in season 2 was really good.
Oh, the one where was that season 1 or season 2? She had to pretend to be like her mirror universe double. It was that was good.
Is that Lights and Shadow? I think maybe
it might be. I can't remember, but yeah.
Yeah. 2 had some good ones, and Jonathan Frakes directed like I think 2 or 3 episodes in that season too. So, but yeah, the ending, like again, like the 2-parter for the season finale, I was just like, whatever. And then the crazy thing is they made us wait a week for it. It's like you should just broadcasted it back to back. They're gonna make us wait a whole year. At least give us just a 2-part ending. And the season 2 is where we introduce Mont and all those guys too, right? So, right?
Who?
Yeah, he's on the No, that's not what I'm thinking of. That's not the poster I'm thinking of. I got it one of those stupid Star Trek posters too for when it still said CBS All Access.
Oh really?
Yeah, I was laughing about that. I'm like, it's worse than DC Infinite Finite. DC, what was it called? DCU Universe or whatever?
I think it was DC Universe or something. Yeah, where they were gonna have
the comics and the TV shows. This was like big.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the idea, but I knew it wasn't gonna work. Season 3, and it's like this is where we get into the 32nd century, and I'm just like, 900 years is a leap. It's a leap.
Well, again, they wanted to be so past everyone else that they didn't have to worry about continuity errors. And
did we even learn enough about that stupid cataclysmic event, the burn? Like, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like they could have did a little bit better. And this one was only 13 episodes too, so it's just like, we're losing the plot.
In the budget, probably. But yeah, no. I see people still complaining about the burn to this day, where they're just like, really, all the dilithium blew up everywhere simultaneously, and it's just like,
it always comes back to the dilithium.
Yeah, it's like, really, how does that even work? It was like a wave, but everything blew up at once. Okay.
wait a minute. So Section 31 isn't even a TV show. It's a made for TV movie.
I don't know if if they kept going back and forth with that, because I thought originally it was supposed to be a TV show, but then maybe they announced it as a movie or something. I think it's one of those ones where they keep jumping
Well,
back
it's
and forth.
definitely a movie now. I
Yeah.
think that's set in stone, unfortunately. That's crazy. I guess
think it's
Michelle Yeoh's booked and busy though.
Oh, that's probably too. But yeah, it's
So
probably
maybe that was the And
yeah.
this season was the season that was affected by the pandemic, right?
What,
Or
3?
no. Yeah.
It
Like they
might
were
be because, like I said, I remember. Yeah.
Oh no, I think the production, like the actual production of it is what got hit because I think they got done filming right at February 2020.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
So
that hit everybody because I remember seeing some kind of special about Lower Decks, and like they said, like during the pandemic, they were all recording from home. Like they were like, yeah, I'd go in the closet, kind of making my little sound thing, and just recording in the closet and stuff.
I want to say that I do love the locations the most in this season, though. It's where they filmed in Iceland, and it was just so beautiful. Well, the first 2 episodes, they were at that Haverfell volcano, and then they went to the Gaiaphas waterfall that I could totally spot, and I was like, oh, that's so beautiful. Like, yeah, like I think
Yeah,
that
like
was like
all the real locations they went to. Yeah, look great.
But it just makes me laugh to know that everybody films at Pinewood Studios when you're in Toronto. You just kind of, unless you're like one of the DC shows, this is where you shoot, and it's just if you've been around there, you just easily spot like, oh yeah, the freaking Tim Hortons is like 5 blocks that way. You know what I mean, kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's just the thing about filming in Toronto or Vancouver. If you've seen enough shows or if you've ever been up there, you can just really see. And I feel like if we got a little more international with it, it would have probably like the locations. It would have made a big difference. I feel like. But they did what they could with what they had, and I think that, like I said, I'm never gonna complain about the scoring, the cinematography. It's always really good, but like we could use a little more. But they did use a lot of Dutch angles in this season, which pissed me off. There's something about a Dutch angle that just pisses me off. I don't know what it is. It's a very visceral reaction.
And the other thing about Discovery, when they're on the bridge, I'm always like, turn the lights on. Can't see nobody.
In the future, the future's dark.
Or at least on Discovery, yeah.
They gotta keep the light bill down, bud.
And speak up.
That's a just modern the sound mix is that's just a modern thing. I don't know what's going on with that.
I mean, but some shows do it worse than others. It's just
oh yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, season 3 I think just kind of was like meh for me.
Yeah, well, again, it's like, oh look, we're in the future.
Yeah, they took a hard turn and they were trying to like spin stuff off, and it's like to the detriment of everybody else in the actual original cast.
Yeah, because then it goes down to whoever's left on that ship, and then 2, Michael gets separated from the rest of them, so then we all kind of gotta go and like, oh, where's Michael at? And
it's like, I would never. Okay, so getting into season 4, I would never help rebuild the United Federations of Planets. Like, let's be so fucking real. They are the bad guys. In the Calvin timeline, they're the bad guys, and you can't change my mind.
Mm-hmm.
All your captains are bad at their jobs. What's the point of the Prime Directive if nobody's gonna follow it? I'll wait. Just saying.
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you. What do you think about the whole Michael and Book relationship?
That was definitely forced. And I heard he didn't even come back. Like, they actually added him. Like, some of that stuff was, like, not even, like, him. They were, like...
Oh, CGI?
AI-generated CGI.
Really?
That's
what, this season, or...?
Yeah, like, he couldn't make it to, like, the stuff that they shot at the end.
Oh, the flash forward. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what I heard.
Oh,
seems like it, too, when I'm watching it. So... But yeah, I felt like that was forced. Again, not everybody needs a fucking relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Or
in the future, and like, come on.
I know that's kind of like the first person we see her with in the 32nd century is him.
It's the only person that could tolerate her. I get it.
Oh,
I get it.
burn.
It's kind of like Q and Picard. I get it. Cisco punched him. Well, Janeway gave in once, but that was the only time. I'll give her that. She forgot to ask for a way back. She's too distracted getting laid. I get it.
Wow.
Some priorities come first. I totally get it, sister. She's a sucker for a guy with a powerful.
I'm a sucker for a guy with a powerful rod.
Yeah, so season 4. Again, it's where they team her up with Ugg. Like, just call him Booker. Why did they call him Book? It's so stupid.
I know.
It's like we have to shorten that even more.
I know. You dropped 2 letters. Ooh.
I know. Yeah, the first episode, I was just like, oh, they named it Kobayashi Maru, but like, don't name it that if you're gonna give me this. It's like, oh, we're looking at strange bird activity. Like, really? That's the mystery? Oh, gravitational distortions. Oh, it destroyed the entire planet. Whoops. 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 Like, I feel like that should have been the basic catchphrase of this season.
Whoops.
And don't we get a tie-in? Is it episode 2 where we get the tie-in where they talk about Picard or whatever, right? Where they're talking about the synthetic bodies using that technology.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, I feel like that was episode 2 anomaly. Choose to Live, episode 3. What is that one? That's the one where they were holding those refugees in suspended animation, and I'm just like, and they're stealing the and they get to the person who stole the dilithium, and I'm just like, I don't care. I don't care. Like, I just really didn't care about anything in season 4.
Oh yeah, episode 4 was the one with the cadets. Okay.
Yeah, which I thought could have been cool, but like then I remembered the Next Generation episode, and that's exactly what this felt like.
Yeah.
I'm like, where's Tom when you need him?
I mean, they didn't fully steer into the skid like they did in season 5, but I feel like by season 4 they're like, yeah, we kind of trying to make this a little more like other Treks.
Yeah, it was too little, too late at that point, and you
Oh,
just
yeah.
kind of have to like do. Well, you did this. We're 900 years into the future here, bud. You did this. Figure it out. What else? Episode 5, nothing really happens. I mean, really, Burnham gives that orb to the daughter of the man that killed Felix. I think was the whole premise of that episode. And like they're like the whole dark matter anomaly thing, and I'm just like, MacGuffin, Maltese Falcon, MacGuffin. Stormy Weather was a good one because Jonathan Frakes directed episode 6. I think that's his thing. Is that like the magic number he likes to direct halfway through, where the team is like, you know, a little more molded and back from vacation or whatever, maybe?
Maybe, or I mean, unless he's just the guy that are like, oh, we need somebody, and you know.
Well, no, you have to like for Jonathan Frakes. I would assume they would like ask him what episode he wants to do and kind of work around his schedule. But yeah,
either do the 6 or do the 9.
Exactly, or do both. I don't care. This is the one where there are discoveries in that subspace rift created by the DMA, dark matter anomaly, and I'm just like, okay, this one was okay. And Gray offers Zora to clear her processes by playing that stupid game, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. Ooh, I can detect microvariances. Yeah. Oh, great. That was a MacGuffin to get them out of the void. And then they get transported in the pattern buff. I'm just like, oh my god, what are we even doing right now? Ugh. Anyway, that was crazy. That was the craziest thing I've seen in a while.
I mean, I think we've it all went downhill after they were like, we could teleport the whole ship.
Yeah, it was a lot. And it's just more and more like it gets more and more ridiculous until finally we get to like episode 13 titled Coming Home, and I'm just like, lies. This is my least favorite season finale.
Yeah,
they're like, oh, we're gonna meet the members of 10C, and it has it's inside a hyperfield and yada yada. It just felt like they were just doing too much techno jargon, and they weren't like trying to emotionally connect with the audience at all at this point. They were just checked out.
I almost feel like 'cause I think they might have still been on the fence at that point. I feel like I think the finale of season 4. I'm trying to remember. I think they kind of almost sort of wrote it like it could have been a series finale.
Could it have? This would have been the saddest next to friggin' Deep Space Nine I'd
I
ever
forget.
seen,
It
bro.
was either the end of 3 or end of 4. I remember there was one finale where they kind of
Yeah,
ended it where
yeah, I think it's season 3 where
maybe it
they
was.
could have
Yeah.
ended it there because this
Yeah.
one definitely left on a cliffhanger for season 4. So if I had to rank them, I would go season 2, 1, 3, 4, 5. I think 5th was the weakest one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What about you?
I mean, 2 might be. Yeah, 2 might be the first one because, well, again, you get the Strange New Worlds cast and everything, and I don't know, maybe 2, 2, 3, 1, 4, or wait, 2, 3, 1, 5, 4.
Okay, fair enough. Now,
Yeah.
let's get into the nitty gritty. Let's rank where Discovery sits with everything else.
Oh.
So it goes Deep Space Nine, number 1 for me.
Of course.
The Next Generation, number 2. The original series, number 3. Voyager, number 4. Picard, number 5. Lower Decks, number 6. Prodigy, number 7.
Did you throw Strange New Worlds in there?
Because it's not done yet. It's going to be my number 1 favorite show once it's done. So.
Oh, okay.
But it's not done yet, so.
Oh, so
it's not on the list. It's not on the list for me yet.
The shows have to be completely done. Okay.
Yeah. And then, I guess, bringing up the rear, I'll give it to Discovery and then Enterprise. So Enterprise is still the worst one for me.
I gotta agree with that. Yeah, I think I gotta agree. Yeah, Discovery and then Enterprise are the last 2. Yeah.
Bring up the rear, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, for number 1, again, Strange New Worlds isn't done, but I think Next Gen is my my number 1. Let's see. Let's watch a little.
You know what brings it down is those damn movies.
Oh,
it's also why the original series is where it is too. It's only literally 2.5 good movies in all those movies that they put out.
Number 2
Star
would
Trek
be...
Nemesis really just literally killed the franchise.
Was that the last one?
Yeah, with Tom Hardy as young Picard.
Yeah, the Picard clone.
Twitches, eye twitches.
I know. B4. Yeah. Yeah, I'd say I'm still going Next Gen number 1. Maybe original number 2. Voyager number 3. DS9 number 4.
That's fine. You're not a man of fine taste and distinction. It's fine. Matt Kona somewhere just woke up. That's right.
Spark be quantum. Yeah. What else wait? Yeah. I put Discovery. You know what? I might put this. No. I'll put Lower Decks above Discovery. No. I never watched Prodigy yet. I keep meaning to, so I really can't comment on Prodigy. So.
It's a quick binge if you want to get into it. It's not.
Okay.
It's kind of for younger viewers.
Yeah.
So like, whereas like Lower Decks is like kind of like 13. Prodigy is like a what do they call it? An all ages kind of show.
Yeah.
It's so like Spidey and his amazing friends.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna think you're not gonna like it, but you're gonna like it.
I haven't tuned back to the Disney Channel in a while because once Luca was like, "Yeah, I'm done with it," I was like, "Okay." It was like right when that show was starting. I was like, "Damn it!" So did I hit them all? I think I hit everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, Enterprise. Better luck next time. So they say the Starfleet Academy is definitely greenlit. So it's gonna have 10 episodes, and they're thinking it's gonna air in either late 2025 or mid 2026.
Did they say any? Did they give any plot details on that, like what era it's set in or anything? Or
I don't think so.
okay, is there an era you'd like it to be set in? Like,
Definitely not in the 32nd century.
no. I mean, do you think maybe Strange New Worlds era?
I want it to be
or-
set in the Next Generation era. If I'm gonna be
Okay.
real with you.
Okay.
I feel like because that's where we spent the most time when you think about it, between Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, and Voyager.
Oh yeah.
That's where we spent the most time. So I felt that that would be the best time to set it.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Oh.
when Star Trek was in its prime, in my personal opinion.
Don't be a Nick Locarno, kids.
Bro, do you know? I would love for them to bring that up. And then, yeah, like I said, I don't know. Like, maybe not like that exact time, but like somewhere right around that time, like 50, 60 years after that.
Oh my god. If they did bring up the Nick Locarno thing, if it was set in that era, you could have oh my god, you could have him come in as the character's dad. Oh my.
Exactly.
I would love that.
Yeah, because I feel like that way we could get more LeVar Burton, more Worf, O'Brien. Like we could bring in Janeway. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's that stretch of time.
Yeah.
I'm just like, because like I said, I'm partial to that era. Like that was peak Star Trek, and it'll never be better than that.
He's like,
I feel like that's what they were trying to do when they put all these Star Trek shows out, but they didn't understand that. Like, I think a lot of the animation stuff kind of threw people for a loop too, and they didn't realize that it was like actually technically canon, and that kind of pissed a lot of people off too.
yeah.
So, some people just don't like animation. Like you think you're gonna bring in like a younger audience, but kids don't watch cartoons anymore. They're watching TikTok. They're watching YouTube. They're watching Markiplier. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So I just fundamentally don't think they understood the demographics of who was gonna actually watch Star Trek, and hopefully now they have a better understanding and they can kind of tool and not oversaturate the market. And we definitely don't ever need to see Star Trek movies again. I'm just being real. I've never been a fan of them from the beginning. I thought it was just a really big mistake to do it.
I mean those first the
original series, I get why they had to do it because they got their feet cut out from under them. But like the Next Generation movies, I'm like, that was so fucking unnecessary.
I know, but yeah, the OG movies, I think it kind of rekindled the interest, so you could get a next gen.
No, and that's absolutely why they did it, because they had said that they weren't gonna do Star Trek Next Phase or whatever they had deemed the Star Trek after after the original series was gonna be. So they took that budget and turned them into the movies, which would gauge the interest to be able to do a Next Generation. Like, I'm not saying that like I said, the original ones I tolerate, and like I said, it's 2.5 good movies between all of them. And I actually do like the Save the Whales one.
Oh, shut up! You love V'ger.
I like parts of it. Like I said, it's 2.5 good movies. I'll let you be the guess.
V'ger, that's right.
But yeah, that's kind of where I stand right now with Star Trek. I'm looking forward to Strange New Worlds. Strange New Worlds is my like favorite new Star Trek stuff that's come out in the last like 7 years, I guess, now at this point.
Oh yeah.
F in the chat for time, guys. It's a construct. Don't believe in it.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to when we can discuss when it finally comes out.
Yes. Please come back. All right.
We should probably, if we ever get a lull in some time, we maybe could discuss Picard as a series.
Okay. Yeah. I'm down for that.
Or maybe we can do it on the Patreon. Boys, Patreon Elite, let us know what you think.
Yep. And again,
you want to hear my unhinged observations on Picard?
And again, Salty and Petty, I mean, we're here for suggestions more than I'd say any other show.
Yeah, because Phil's got everything planned out till 2026 everywhere.
Not every show.
Not every show. Name one show that's not planned out to 2026. I'll wait.
Salty and Petty. Oh.
Well, we're more topical. That doesn't.
I know. No. Every other show. I mean, there might be a few things on the schedule for 2025, but there's no complete 2025 schedule. Come on.
Mm-hmm. Sure. I'll check the calendar myself when I get there. Don't worry about it.
Order.
So we do have a whole nother show to do, Phil. So
Yes.
let us know your on-chin thoughts about Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek franchise as a whole. Check in, tap in, do what you got to do.
Yes. Hey, when it's over, should we do season 2 of My Adventures as Superman with Superman? Or no?
If you want. I did not like the first 2 episodes, so.
Well, okay. How about this? End of the season, we'll make the call. Okay.
Or you guys can make the call. I don't know if you want to torture us. Are you liking it? I don't know. Did you like them? Have you watched them yet?
At the first 2 of season 2?
Yeah.
I liked it. It was all right. Again, I want to see. I'm saving my judgment, see where they go.
Yeah, I'm not liking how Lois is looking right now. They gotta fix it.
Oh, the actual visual?
No. Like her character.
Oh, okay.
It's giving more Lex Luthor than Lois Lane. Is all that I'm saying.
F your cousin. All right. So we have nothing on the schedule for next time, but
We don't?
no, we burned through everything we picked. Well, again, remember we are recording ahead, so we do have some time to make a decision. Unless you anyone
We'll take suggestions.
Yeah.
We might have to just do I don't know.
Remember, we are
We
recording
might have
ahead.
to do a tame down random BS go for Salty and Petty.
Well, we'll see. I mean, again, by the time we need a new episode, there might be
Hopefully something will happen that I could actually talk about. Like, I don't want to talk about Trump being indicted and how it doesn't matter because I don't want to rub anybody the wrong way.
Hey, well, speaking of, again, kids, it may come down to a porn star gave the whole country a happy ending.
I don't think so. God. I'm a pessimist. I'm a realist, actually. I'm not a pessimist. I'm a realist. I'm a pragmatist at its best.
And again, I mean, we did add some like classic movie reviews like Alien last time. So, I mean, we can always do like
we have tons and tons of movies we could talk about. Yeah.
And again, we do want to plan a round table somewhere with our friends. Like I said, if nothing else, I want to get Justin on with Diane and Marnell.
Absolutely.
And again, yes, kids, check out the newest show yes, kids, now there's actually a show on the network without me or Lilith on it. So yes, go check out the Real Housewives.
And the whole town rejoices.
And Danielle rejoices. All right. So yes. Send us your suggestions, send us your thoughts on Star Trek Discovery, this last season or as a whole. Shut up, Lilith. Email us saltyandpetty69@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes and Lunatics episodes, social media, merchandise. Go pick up your brand new Capes and Lunatics merch with all the new logos. Because I know Lilith Hellfire is going to do that before our road trip.
Ooh, about that.
What? You need help? What?
No.
Oh, you don't want. Okay, we'll talk.
I'm wearing classic. I'm gonna be a hipster.
Okay, whatever. Okay, Ray. Call you Mrs. Ray. All right, yeah. So, yes, again, yes, you can pick up either new or classic merch at the store. We won't judge. Well, we will, but we won't tell you to your face. And again, if you just want to be very kind and just rain the money on us through the Cash App link, you can find a Cash App link.
Make it rain.
Because again, we are metaphorically that girl dancing her way through life at the club.
She looks like she was just working a stripper pole down at Divas.
God, this thing is going so off the rails after Charlie. All right, and of course, the Patreon.
We have no adult supervision.
No, we're no longer under the oppressive thumb of Rob Southgate. Charlie's gone. Oh Lord, you know who's in charge, right? Me.
Oh no.
I know. Can you imagine? Did you ever imagine a day when that would happen?
No,
okay,
not really.
Here's exactly because no one else wants the job. That's why. Okay, this is how bad it is, kids. I'm in charge. That's the voice of reason I listen to. That's
Ooh, so sorry. So sorry.
Double shot right there. Yeah, the clown's in charge, and he's taking life advice from the realist. All right, so yes, and again, Patreon. Please subscribe to our Patreon. Get something different every month. New exclusive content just to you if you subscribe to the Patreon. And again, sometimes we don't even know what we're doing. So yes,
We
but
never know what we're doing.
we got some good stuff coming up here, like the road trip and all kinds of cool stuff. So find it all at tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. All right, Lilith, where can people tell you how wrong you are about Trek?
Oh, if
I'm
you want to tell Phil how wrong he is, that's at Nightwing PDP. But if you want to talk to me about Star Trek, you can find me on Facebook, you can find me on Instagram, you can find me on Threads, or if you've got content you need somebody to comment on, at Lilith Hellfire69 on TikTok.
Yes, kids, point out all the everything wrong with DS9 so you can hear.
Our whole family can suck it.
Personally.
Deep Space Nine is for adults.
What about it?
What?
Deep Space Nine is for adults. It's okay, Phil.
Oh my!
You don't want to play Ferengi Rummy? That's fine. It's fine.
Sorry, I don't want to go through the intricacies of war. I'm sorry.
Hello, have you met me?
That's true. Yes, she's
literally how I learned what an occupation was. Just saying.
That's right, kid. She's occupying and waging war on the young men of Florida.
It's all rape and murder, I'll tell you that. Don't pull it out unless you're going to use it. That's true for guns and penises.
Don't pull it out unless you're going to use it. It's true for guns, phasers, and penises. Yes.
Don't pull it out unless you're going to use it. That's true for guns and penises.
No, nice. You can always set the phaser to stun. So, kind of,
That's true. If you have a penis, she wants it set to kill. All right.
Go big or go home. Hey-o.
And again, she doesn't do tribbles. So again, men, yes, landscapes and lawn. All right. Thank you for joining us. Again, who knows what we're doing next time, but I know it'll be fun. We still got to do some anniversary.
Unhinged.
We still got to do an anniversary somewhere.
Get the kids together. Let's do
I want to get all the kids together, as many as I can. Yeah. Mom and Daddy miss you all.
Except for a certain someone.